Welcome to Elite Authors, where we showcase the incredible stories behind some of the most talented authors in the industry. At Elite Authors, we believe every author has a unique story to tell, and we're passionate about sharing those stories with the world. So join us as we explore the lives and works of some of the most talented and inspiring authors of our time. Today, we have Monica Hall, a native of Brooklyn, New York, who has deep roots in her community. She's a devoted mother of 6 children, president at Destined for Purpose, LLC, and the founder of Destiny Awaits, a women's support group that serves as a safe space for fellowship, healing, encouragement, and support. She's an evangelist with the Church of God in Christ and a co-author in the newly released book, Activate Your Faith, Sis. Welcome to Elite Authors, Miss Monica Hall. We are so happy to have you here today. I hope you're doing well.
I am. Thank you for that warm welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We are super excited to talk about your new book, Activate Your Faith, Sis. I mean, the title alone will get me started. So let me back up just a little bit before I get ahead of myself. And I said a little bit, about your bio, but definitely tell us, who you are and why you decided to write a book.
Well, thank you. First for inviting me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for
Absolutely.
just reaching out to me. Activate Your Faith, like you said, that title alone is just like something to get you going because we do live by faith, right?
Absolutely.
Not by sight. This is a currency in the kingdom, is our
Mhm.
faith. We have to believe. But there are some times in life where we face those challenges and those times where your faith is tested, where your
Yeah.
belief system is tested. And so this anthology that we did, there are 9 women together who wrote our stories about going through struggles, different things. I wrote about my divorce personally,
Okay.
but getting through that to the other side where you are walking in victory, where you are walking in just like peace and healing. But the beginning of that, and a lot of times when you're going through that as a person, not just a woman, but I can speak for women, you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So it was very important for me to write this and to be a part of this anthology on activating your faith, sis, so that we can help sisters see that you can get to the other side.
Awesome. That's awesome. So you're in the book with 9 other co-authors, correct?
That's correct.
So there's 10 authors in this book, and it's almost like that's a community. So you have 10 sisters backing you up, pushing you to activate your faith. That's good. That's like
Yeah.
a group therapy kind of thing. So
Oh,
that's
yes.
that is awesome that, first being a co-author is just amazing. So congratulations,
Thank
congratulations
you. Thank you.
on that. That's a huge accomplishment. And then activating your faith. We live by faith, like you said, we live by faith, and sometimes it gets hard. So to have those women with you. Now, did you have a chance to coordinate with the women or talk with them as you were writing?
So yeah, we did have Zoom calls together. And we didn't necessarily talk about our stories, but we talked about how to build your chapters and
Okay,
how to write your chapters. And we actually didn't get to read each other chapters until the book was done.
that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, that's good. So definitely, is this your first time being an author?
It is. It is my
Okay.
first time. It was very exciting too, but yes.
So how did it feel writing your chapter?
Oh my gosh. No, well, okay, so writing my chapter was not exciting. Writing my chapter was a little terrifying. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was because I'm talking about my divorce. So a little bit backstory. I am a former first lady. My husband was a pastor. We had a church and everything. And when I got separated and then divorced, I went straight to isolation.
Okay.
I was just like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt like life was over for me. Like, who am
Mm.
I? I'm no longer the first lady. I'm no longer this person. I'm no longer that person. Like, who am I now? So going through all of that was a really tough time for me. And then having to go back to say, okay, now we're going to write about it. You know, sometimes little things trigger you and you
Yeah,
go back to it and you be like, oh my gosh, wait, we got out of that. We got out of
right.
that. We can't go down
Right.
that hole. Like, come on, girl. So it was,
Absolutely.
yeah, so it was a little terrifying because now your story is out there, right? For everyone to read. So,
Hmm.
you know, you have your, not your circle, but you have the group of people who know about things that are going on. But I wanted to come from out of that shame. And so, but writing it in the beginning, I'm telling you, it was terrifying for me. I'm like, what? Are you really going to put this out there for everybody to see? And I'm like, yes, we are, because women need to know they can get to the other side. But once I wrote it, and once I got it in the book, and once people started interacting with me and talking with me and saying, oh my gosh, that brought me so much encouragement. That helped me. That,
That's
you know, then it was just like, oh, wow. It was just like so great. But even finishing it, being a first time author is just like fantastic. I was so excited when we got our book and everything. I was just it really happened, you know. So yeah, that part was great, but the beginning was a little terrifying. But now we got to the end, and I'm like, oh yes, this is great. This is
Yeah,
great.
yes, that's amazing. Yeah, it can be terrifying telling your story.
Yeah,
But in the end, you know, it just tends to inspire and, you know, encourage and bless, you know, those readers. So I'm sure you coming out of your divorce and your situation as you begin to heal and you wrote your chapter, now it's now going to help other
yeah,
women to heal as well, because divorce, you know, is a rising thing these days, you know, even in the church. And that support is needed. You know, you're not alone. You know, you don't have to be condemned and shunned, but you have this group now in your story that you're telling to help you through and
yeah.
activate your faith even in the midst of it. So that's amazing. So did you know, once you knew you were part of the book, did you know exactly that you was going to write about your divorce, or did you have different topics that you wanted to choose from?
Nope. I wanted to write about my divorce.
Okay.
I said this is what we're starting with first.
Okay.
I wanted to get that out.
That's good. That's good. So terrifying, but you still did it. So
Oh
that's
yes.
great. Yeah, that's
Oh
great.
yes, we're people of faith, so we tell fear to take a back seat. We be
Take a
like,
back
yeah,
seat.
we're
That's
not gonna do
right.
it fearfully. We're gonna do it without fear because God has not given us the spirit of
Need
fear.
a fair.
So
There you go.
we just gonna do it. And I'm like, oh, we out here now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Look, so now it's time for a part two, but we'll get to that later. So, so yeah, so besides the women reading your chapter, and they are walking away encouraged, inspired, is there something particular that you want them to get from reading your chapter?
I want them to get from my chapter that although you go through that pain of whatever that trial is. It could be divorce, it could be separation, it could be losing a parent, it could be sickness, it could be whatever that trauma or that pain is, there is
Mhm.
purpose in it. And in the end, you're going to see God, you're going to see his love, you're going to receive his healing, you're going to get victory. And I want you to know to just hold on. It may be very, very dark now. If it's depression, if it's anxiety, it's whatever it is that you are facing today, just keep holding on that you are going to see the light at the end.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so much we can get stuck in the place that we're in, and we can't see how to get out of it, you know, how to get past this. All we see is our now,
Yeah.
but, you know, have that faith, you know, and
Yeah.
know that all things are going to work for your good, you know.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you know, to be inspired and from you writing from your Christian perspective, which is awesome, you know, it's great. So is the entire book Christian based?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It is Christian based. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing like coming with your sisters, you know. You have your sisters and you have your sisters in Christ, your sisters in
Yeah.
Christ. So to write with them. That's amazing. So I know you said you received your copy after you wrote. It was super excited. You had the release. You had your copy of the book. How did it feel? Surreal? What did you want to do when you got your copy?
Oh yes, it was surreal. We had did TikTok things and Instagram things. I'm running
Okay.
around all over the place. We did the book, the box opening and showing them the
Okay.
book and everything. We had a book release. I did a summit not too long ago. A couple
Okay.
months ago, I did a summit and I talked about divorce. Because I'm working in the field of being a divorce coach, helping women navigate those stages of grief and
Hmm.
getting to the other side. One of those things that I felt like I lacked was support throughout the process. So I talked about that. And then I did another interview about 2 weeks ago where we talked the same thing pretty much, but from the perspective of the church and how we need to implement things. We need to do better. We're implementing things in the church to help support women who are struggling or who are broken or who are hurting. And we're showing up every Sunday, and thank God for the preachers that are preaching and giving us these great messages. But I'm going home still hurt, still
Right.
broken, and just trying to provide support to them to say, sis, I see you. Like you're
Mhm.
showing up every day or every Sunday, whatever day you go to church, but I see you. And how can I support you? Can we go and sit and eat? Can I come to your house and just sit with you? Can I be a listening ear? Can I be a safe space for
Yeah.
you? But how can I support you? Can I just send Uber Eats because you ain't eating, you ain't taking care of yourself? Can I
Right.
send you a meal? Like, what can I do to support you? I appreciate all of the prayer and all of that, but that support going alongside you to help you, just to be there for you, I think is so important and a part that we need to do better in. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now, is just be that support to women and say, how can we support you? What can we do to help you get to the other side? No, we can't get you through quicker. You still got to go through the process. You still got to deal with that pain. You still got to deal with that grief. You still got to deal with denial. You still got to deal with all of that unforgiveness. You got to learn to forgive. But how can I support you through this? How can we help you get to the other side?
I love it. I love it. You're pushing them. Come on, sis, pushing them
Yeah.
behind and just making sure that they stay focused on their healing. And that's good. You're literally you're there with them, walking them, taking it step by step, moment by moment. Yeah, it's gonna have hard times. You may cry, you may fall, but you're gonna get back up. And I love
Yeah.
that you're there to support them to make sure that they are continuing to move forward because even as Christians, we get things happen. Things happen. Trials are going to come. This our life isn't all hunky-dory all the time. So
No.
it's definitely great that you have a support system and that you have a safe space, as you say,
Yeah.
for these women to share and just to be themselves. That's
Yep.
that's I applaud you. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank
So
you.
do you feel now that you can incorporate this book in supporting those in your group?
I do. So there's a couple of things that are going on with us right now. So right now we have a group called Destiny Awaits. And
Okay.
this is a support group for women. And you don't have to be divorced to be a part of this support group. We meet virtually on the third Thursdays of every month. And what we just do is it's a community, it's a fellowship, because sometimes you don't have that community, right? You don't have that space where you can just say what you need to say and it will stay there. You know what I mean? And for me, I felt like, and it may not have been true, but in my mind, I felt like I didn't really have a safe space. I had so many days of depression and anxiety, not wanting to get out the bed, just
Mm.
like really, really down days, like dealing with suicidal thoughts, like all of those things. And when you are a leader in the church where you are the person that everyone looks to, or when people look to, it's hard to be like, oh, I'm really dealing with this. Like, I'm really stuck in depression. Like, I'm really stuck with suicidal thoughts. And so I started this. out of that saying, listen, this is a safe space for you. This is a space where you can come. And not only, we're not just going to talk about down things or what you're going through, we're going to push us to be better. Okay, what are we working on? How can we take care of ourselves? I'm an advocate always for self-care. I'm an advocate for taking care of yourself in whatever ways that is, eating better, taking a 30-minute walk, getting in the sun, doing a hobby, gardening, hiking, finding a community of people who do the things that you like to do. Because sometimes, honestly, we don't do things because we're like, oh, nobody else likes it. And it's just like, sis, there are millions of people out there. There is a group out there who like to do the things you do. Yeah, you may not find them in the church, but there are girls that are hiking. There's girls that's camping. There's girls that's doing all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
So find that group, find that community. And so we started Destiny Awaits just to start the process, just to say, if you don't have community, come join us. Let's talk. Let's build each other up. Let's have a safe space. Let's have someone that you can connect with. And so we did that. And hopefully it's helping people. I feel good about it.
That's good. And you can tell that you're passionate about it too. So that's amazing, So I applaud you again just for having that space for the women and encouraging them, because like you said, even if it's knitting, there's a community of women who want to knit,
That's right.
It's
That's
amazing.
right.
Even those things you think are weird, ice cream eating, everybody, there's somebody out there that loves ice cream.
Chocolate lovers, drawing, like
right.
whatever it is. I'm like, sis, because what are we living for? You know what I mean? The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. We have all of these great scriptures and different things. Yeah, we have to suffer with him so that we can reign with him. But also we have all of these things. And a lot of times we don't do them. I know someone who doesn't travel because, because they don't have anyone to travel with. And that may be sometimes. And it's a fear, especially now the way the world is, right? But there's a group of women that travel together, solo travelers. They get together and they go play. I'm like, girl, join that group. You can find some trip there that you can go to. You know what I mean? But there is someone that is out there doing the things that we love. And so we need to learn to enjoy life, not so much as being selfish, but you know what I mean? It's like you have to take your own happiness sort of like in your own hands and not turning it to say that it's someone else's fault why you can't do things. Yeah. And so that's also what we talk about in Destiny Awaits. All right. So what goals do you have? What is it that you want to do? How can we make this happen for you? Because that's part of enjoying life. That's part of the joy of life,
That's so true. That's so true. So even if nobody's doing it, you get out there and do it. Create the trend and somebody's going to follow.
Somebody is going to follow. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. So you have your first co-author, your book down, and you have a lot of advice, I can tell, because we can sit here and probably talk for about 5 hours. But to keep it short, what advice would you give someone who is thinking about writing their own book?
My advice is start writing. Just literally start writing. Get the thoughts on paper. If you don't have a computer to type, get them on paper. And when you get a chance, get your computer and start typing, because you need to read all of those thoughts all together. I have journals or books everywhere where I just wrote pieces here and there. I'm working on my next book, and that's the process I'm in now. Just get it out there. Just start writing. Write.
Great. So what kind of writer are you? I heard you mention a journal. So do you put pen to paper, or are you let me take my phone or tablet or computer and kind of grab some notes on the go? What kind of writer are you?
I'm mainly pen to paper. Mainly pen to paper. And I do, because sometimes thoughts just drop on you. You be in places where you ain't got no pen and paper. So I pick up my phone and do a voice note to myself or type it on there. But I'm mainly pen to paper.
Okay. Old school. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So tell us where viewers can purchase your book and how they can get in touch with you.
So you can go to my website, which is www.monicahall.org, and you can purchase my book there. And and you'll get a signed copy. So come on and purchase that book.
Hey, yes, who doesn't love a signed copy? And it's her first book, the first book. And as you can hear, she's working on the second. So we thank you. Thank you so much for coming on to Elite Authors and sharing your story. You have a wonderful story and you're doing so much to inspire others. And it's you know what? It's great that you didn't just take your story and keep it to yourself, one, or two, use what happened to you and wallow in it, because life would never get better if you just stay where you are.
That's
So
right.
thank you for telling your story. Thank you for helping others come out of their situation, no matter what it is, and helping the community that you're in and involved in. So thank you so much for being on the show. Just thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you guys for joining today and checking out Miss Monica Hall. Absolutely go to her website. You heard it, www.monicahall.org, and make sure you get your signed copy of your book. We hope to catch you next month at the top of the month. Remember, we're here every top of the month with a fresh new author. We'll see you then.